I'm showing you.
Yes.
No one survived but us.
Greetings everyone, future feature film director, the Rookie Critic here, and today we're going to be talking about damsels in distress and how they are applied to film and entertainment. This ain't no video essay, but I will define what the word means and where it comes from so that we know that we're on the same page. A damsel in distress refers to a young woman in trouble, with implication that the woman needs to be rescued as by a prince in a fairy tale. There have been many damsels in distress throughout stories in history and mythology. The word damsel derives from the French demoiselle, or de bébé, meaning young lady, and the term damsel in distress, in turn, is a translation of the French demoiselle en distresse, or de blah blah blah, de blah blah blah. There isn't really a male equivalent word in English for damsel in distress, but some could say like dude or squire or something, but no one really cares, because by definition, it normally refers to women.
What do you expect to accomplish by this?
You're the sort of girl who has to have her mind made up for her. And I am going to bend you to my will.
Oh, I see. It ought to make a good story for the papers. You wine for it?
Anyway, damsels in distress, or DIDs, or DIDs, have been a part of film going way back to the old black and white silent films. The classic girl getting tied to a train track, or captured by a giant monster, or an evil villain snatches someone, or robbery hostage situations. There are plenty of different scenarios for DIDs. There are some people that think that damsels in distress in film is sexist and just use women as objects or trophies for men to desire and win as a reward. Anita Sarkeesian from Feminist Frequency sees it that way in video games as well, and I'm sure that there are many of you out there that believe that is just unnecessary played out tropes. I, however, believe that sometimes a damsel in distress is a very useful element to add to the story. Now there's actually dozens of ways that damsels can be used as part of the plot.
A word, my lady. We are but poor, lost circus performers. Is there a village nearby?
There is nothing nearby. Not for miles.
Then there will be no one to hear you scream. If you wish her dead, by all means, keep moving forward. You only think I guessed wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. Ha ha, you fool!
In the movie Taken, Liam Neeson's daughter is kidnapped on a trip, and it becomes his mission to find and save her. We slowly discover what has happened to her, and he finds more clues to lead to where she is. The suspense is, can he even find her? Can he overcome all these obstacles set before him? And will she even be alive if he finds her?
Now, the next part is very important. They are going to take you.
Kim, stay focused, baby.
I think
Princess Leia in Star Wars is a political figure that goes up against the Empire and is captured so that she can fork up the location of the Rebel base. Luke Skywalker and the gang have to go rescue her. This leads to some awesome and funny interactions as well as keeps the plot moving forward. Once she is rescued, she may no longer be a damsel for the story, but how she behaved while in distress is part of what shows us what kind of character she really is. And when she is Jabba the Hutt's prisoner in Return of the Jedi, she may be dressed down all sexy in that gold bikini and whatnot, but the moment that she has a chance to strike, she takes it and chokes his fat ass with the chains that bound her, which keeps the consistency with her character if we look back at A New Hope. In Pirates of the Caribbean, Elizabeth Swann holds the medallion from the chest of Cortez, and the two knucklehead pirates believe that she is the offspring of Bootstrap Bill Turner and carries the blood that will release them from their curse. She is forced to go with them to the place that cannot be found except for those who already know where it is. Along the way, we learn a lot more about Barbossa, his crew, and the curse through the perspective of Elizabeth Swann.
For too long I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. Too long I've been starving to death and haven't died. I feel nothing. Not the wind on my face, nor the spray of the sea, nor the warmth of a woman's flesh. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
I'll even toss in a weird example that technically doesn't even fit this category, but is kinda similar. In Spy Kids, Carmen and Junie's parents get captured in Floop's castle, and it is up to their kids to step up to the plate and rescue them. This causes them to go on an adventure and learn to conquer their fears. Plus, we get to see our protagonists work together and put up with each other, while we get to learn more about the villains from the captive parents.
12 years ago, they were part of a research team for the OSS, attempting to create a synthetic intelligence, a compendium of spy knowledge, if you will. Research since destroyed.
Do you see what I mean? There are loads of different ways that you can utilize a damsel in a film.
Take the truck! Where the hell did she come from? Kill her!
Fire and the Orleans Savings and Loan.
Or there's going to be an early knockout.
Almost finished. Do like I say, we will both live happily ever after.
Let's go over a few more scenarios. A woman getting kidnapped for ransom is a common situation for a damsel in distress. The bad guys could want money, a signed agreement, ensured the protagonist and law enforcement don't interfere, or they want something from the protagonist, or they want the protagonist to do something for them.
We're gonna play a game. It's called Live or Die. You can make that choice, can't you?
Who are you?
For some reason, not only can damsels be useful in a film, but sometimes people can find them to be quite appealing as well. I'm sure that we all remember Daphne from Scooby-Doo getting kidnapped like a million times. I distinctly remember Jessica Alba being captive in quite a few movies as a damsel in distress when I was younger. Sometimes when a woman is captured and tied down, it is interesting to see what they do and how they act, like when Black Widow is tied to the chair in the Avengers, and then she starts just kicking their butts while still tied to the chair. That scene was enjoyable on many different levels, guys. In Charlie's Angels, there's a similar kind of scene to the Avengers one where she's tied to a chair and has to fight off a bunch of goons. In the TV show Castle, Kate Beckett awoke to find herself strapped to a dental type of chair in a hidden room and has to figure a way out. She realizes that she's helpless, yet remains calm and tries to convince her captor to let her go. Meanwhile, she's figuring out how well she's tied down, she's scanning nearby objects and the exits, and ends up finding a screw to undo from the chair and then use later to escape.
There's no point in resisting, Detective. In fact, if you accept that, I can remove the gag. Good. But please don't scream. It's tedious, and no one can hear you.
In the Scooby-Doo movie, Daphne got tired of being a damsel in distress, like at the very beginning, and decided to learn some new skills to prevent that from happening again. Come to think of it, there are tons of shows where damsels in distress often play a role in many episodes, like with Spanish dramas or soap operas.
Kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk, kalk.
Tamam.
Dedim sana sus.
İmdat! Beni duyan yok!
Sometimes it seems like they do it because it works well with the plot, and other times, It kind of seems like they just wanted to get the girl tied up because they look all cute, all restrained and bound and gagged and stuff. And hey, I'll admit, sometimes a woman in peril can be appealing even to me. Like, I mean, they look kind of cute, right? When I was doing my research, the damsel stuff sort of started to dip into the fetish territory, like with just straight up bondage and BDSM and whatnot, which is where they would take the damsel concept to the next level. And I guess, I mean, this one kind of popped up when I was researching, and I mean, it kind of confused me, but I guess I can sort of get it. It's where people use it for therapy.
You can fix the body into a position such that the person being tied, the bottom, cannot move, and this paradoxically, by binding the body, you sort of free the mind.
But anyway, back to the point. There are tons of different ways that damsels in distress are applied in films, and just because a woman ends up in a situation and is a damsel in distress doesn't mean that she is weak. There are loads of strong women in film and TV that end up in peril, but it doesn't lessen their qualities. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Do you have a favorite damsel in distress? Do you have different opinion about the subject? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you for coming by, and have a great rest of your day.
Are you comfortable? You humans are hard-coded with the need to survive, to live, the desire to simply keep going. Though most of you do not really know why. Most of you do not see how utterly pointless your existence is.
Hello there, fellow movie lovers. I am very passionate about film and hope to become a director someday. Right now, I'm working on an 8-episode movie series called The Rookie's Legends, set to release in July of 2020. My GoFundMe, Patreon, and PayPal are in the description below if you wish to support it. You'll see more film-centric videos that are not just movie reviews coming very soon, guys, and I recommend that everyone go and check out the Fandom Collective YouTube channel and Twitter, where we try to help YouTubers unite and rise together. And before we close out, I do have a P.O. box if you wish to send me any movies or comics or something. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.